So my dad died when I was like 6, 7, somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I rapist. And then they was
Tell me, how do you guard your energy? Okay.
prayer.
Mm.
I think nothing beats prayer, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he wasn't good at all with his words, you know,
Mm.
and he would like take you down with his words.
Is there more people saying negative things, or are there events in your life that sort of change your lens and your way of thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm understanding now that the more opinionated I am, the worse it becomes. Also, the better it becomes. Live life like a snail. So when you move, you leave a mark.
Hi guys, welcome to Inside Story with me, Koketso Naledi, and today guys, I have an actor, and I know I'm always speaking to actors, but trust me, you do want to listen to this one. His name is Sicelo Teddy. You might have known him from his role in Gomorrah as Teddy. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited to having you here. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed. I'm doing fine. Hopeful, optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah. And did anything happen between the house to coming here, doing this interview?
Yeah, funny enough actually.
Yeah.
I was driving to here and I just saw this guy and he was taking like, I think it was something inhaling a substance of some sort. I don't know what it was. And I think he turned and he also saw me seeing him taking it, and then he like tried to hide himself and then smoked inside the skip or something like that. And then my man, I saw you, man.
Yeah.
But I think I was focusing more on the humor in that interaction, not necessarily me judging him for what he's doing, because I wouldn't know what he's going through, you know what I mean? But just finding the positivity in that and the humor in him trying to hide, and it's like, hey,
I saw you.
know? So,
yeah,
that's what happened, and I found that very interesting.
It's actually very interesting. Yes, guys.
Guess
be
who?
patient. No, I have other things going on now. I have other things going on now. I was gonna say, it's actually very interesting that us as human beings, we want to hide so much, because he was hiding and you were not there to judge him.
Nah, I mean, and I understood why, but also I wished to actually come closer to him and be like, nah, I don't care what you're doing there. Why are you hiding? And just laugh over that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe then the conversation would have occurred, and then hopefully we would have,
laughed about it.
Motivated each other. Or, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So tea or coffee?
Tea or coffee? Tea.
Why tea?
Because my mom used to love tea. You know, she put me on. That's what they say in this new generation. She put me on
She
Rooibos.
put you on.
At a very young age, you know, and I think I just like the fact that it just relaxes you, you know. Yeah, other than that.
It's very calming.
It's calming, like tea, especially if you're having it like ebusuku and all that, and it's just like you're done for the day and you just
Hey
want to
guys, I'm speaking to an old person here.
You're
scaring me. You're scaring me right now. Tell me, what does holistic wellness mean to you?
Holistic wellness. Contentment also becomes a part of the answer. In that, I mean, I might not be well mentally, I might not be well emotionally, but physically I'm trying to, you know, get up, run. Emotionally I'm trying to be as intelligent as possible, you know. So just trying to find balance and just turning on the volume in this holiness, you know, within this body, you know. But I think that's where it is. That's where my holistic wellness,
health. Yes.
I think that's where it is, just to find balance within this body, you know.
I love that you say it so well. So if you're not content, because contentment also speaks to understanding the process.
Yes. patience
okay.
also plays a role in
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So I think just understanding those terms and applying them within yourself and waking up and using them as tools to like just not only survive the day but seize the day, carpe diem again, you know. So yeah, I think that's where it is. That's where it is.
You sound like such a surrendered person.
Not really,
Yeah.
but at the same time, yes. Right?
Why?
In that, I mean, I know when to let go and I know when to let God. You know, just being in that position where you're just like, oh, I see what you're doing, God. Let me let you do your thing. And also when He hands you the ropes and you have to play your part as well. You know. So I think that's where it is for me.
That's really profound. So, what do you believe in? You mentioned in God, so I wanna get into your faith now. You know, what is it?
Hopefully, I think for me, I believe in oneness. I think in South Africa we call it Ubuntu. And that plays like a huge, that word on its own, like once you start exploring the word, you start understanding that I am because we all are. You know what I mean? So once you start understanding Ubuntu and playing your role in just the idea of what they were trying to say or what they were trying to do with the idea of Ubuntu in South Africa, you know, and playing your part as well. So that's what I believe in. Oneness.
Yeah, oneness.
Yeah.
The totality.
Yes, simunye. That's what they say.
Oh, I love that. I love what you're saying because essentially you're saying because you can't be one with somebody else and if you don't have love for the other person.
Yeah.
So if you don't have empathy or compassion.
Yeah.
I told you guys we're speaking to an old person. I'm joking. Just an old soul.
Just
an old soul.
Yeah.
How is your morning routine look like? And what sort of activities do you do to sort of balance yourself emotionally, mentally?
Ideally, I would love to do the gym more regularly, you know. But every now and then, I do get time to run or lift something, you know, be active and just not depend on transportation to take me from point A to point B, you know. But just to get the body active, you know what I mean. So I think for me, that's my morning. Every now and then, I try to be active as possible.
What kind of family are you from? Were you brought up in a traditional family setup with a mom and dad? Do you have siblings?
Not mom and dad, but I do have siblings. I have mom. I was raised by my mom, my sister, my older sister, and I have a younger brother as well. So that was the shape of the household. There's my mom, there's my sister, there's me, there's my little brother. That's where it comes from, I think. And up until recently when I moved out and I had to, do my own stuff now and I had to grow up as well, you know. When I start touching my 20s, that's when I had to head out the house. You know?
So now you're a hate now.
Now I'm just, no, not really the hate, because I think just starting my own also puts me in a position where I understand what there's my home and then there's the home that I'm building, you know. So that too also, those are two different households, you know.
And because you grew up with an absent father, did you ever feel the space that he was not there?
So absent for me is being in heaven. So my dad died when I was 6, 7, somewhere there. So, and I understand now that the idea of being absent or the absent fathers comes with a negative stigma within it. But for me, I guess it came with a blessing in disguise, I guess, because I think I had to learn independence at a young age as a young man, you know. I didn't have to think negatively about my dad not being at home, you know. It's just this is the situation, man, you know. You have to choose whether you want to do good or do bad. But whatever decision you make, we're gonna blame you at the end of the day. If you decide to take a wrong route, it's on me. If I decide to take a positive one, it's still on me as well, you know. So choose.
You're such a mature person for your age.
Hey, man,
how did you come to that? But when, tell me when and how did you come to that realization?
In that incident when my dad died, I think after like a year or so, I think I had like a heart-to-heart with my mom. And even though it was not as clear because I was still young, but I think I got bits and pieces of the importance or the substance of that conversation, you know, and where it was going, you know. Technically, according to her, I'm her first son, you know. Yes, there is my sister who's older than me, but I'm the first son, you know. And I mean, she doesn't have like tools to like raise a son, you know what I mean. But whatever she can, she will do. You know? And I took from that, and I was just like, this is enough for me, you know. I'm just gonna take from that.
I love that. You used words like content and enough.
Yes.
I love that. So tell me, you know, in your childhood, did something happen to sort of disturb you, like a redefining moment where you started being introduced to feelings that you didn't understand? A story that just altered your way of thinking, maybe introduce you to fear or just foreign feelings or ideas, or for you to start seeing the world differently?
Yeah, I think coming from a Kasi, you understand that, or you get to understand that as people, some people criticize you to destroy you, some people criticize you to build you, and you just have to know which criticism to take in, you know. Because I remember there was a friend of mine back then, he wasn't good at all with his words, you know, and he would like take you down with his words, you know, and it was just like, oh, I get why. And because Sikasi, for him, it's just like, and I can't blame him as well to use words like that. You just have to just distance yourself from an energy like that. But then I understood from there, okay, Sharp, there's people that are going to build you with their words, there's people that are going to destroy you. You just have to know which one to listen to, you know. So I think that incident, DJ, I was just like, okay.
How old are you?
I was 13, 14, somewhere there. I was trying out everything, like music, I was trying out acting, I was trying out soccer, you know. I was just trying to find myself within spaces, you know. And that conversation, I was just like, why are you being like this, you know? And I was just like, oh, let me just distance myself from this.
Yeah. I love that at such a young age you were able to discern that, right? But there's quite a lot of people who can't. And that's the people I'm hoping to speak to, and your story to speak to, you know. I'm young and I have these people in my life and they're not really saying the right things to me. How do you speak to somebody like that? And maybe before we get into that, just tell us some of the things this person would say to you that would get you so upset or so down, you know?
I think it would be things like like no one is gonna take in what you're doing now, like, because for instance I'll make an example with music that I was making back then. It was too hip-hop at the time, you know, and because Sikas is like, oh, why are you speaking English in these songs, man? Like you're not gonna listen to this thing, like, you know, just I don't know, just try and talk to us with the language that we understand and all that. You know, and you start understanding that, okay, maybe it's not how I'm presenting the work, it's probably just because they don't want to just dig in and understand that another way of doing things is also something to look at and explore, you know what I mean? And I think, if you're in that position where you find yourself having a company that you feel like you're not growing into, you know what I mean, just turn it off. Turn off the noise. You know, whatever noise that they're making, whatever whispers that they have, just turn them off. You know, the phone also plays a huge role. You know, social media has a lot of negativity as well. You know, Denzel Washington talks about this a lot. It's like when you wake up, just I try. Look, I'm trying by all means to also just turn it off, turn off the phone and just stay in, like, be in the moment or just be in the silence. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not easy, but we get there every now and then. Every day we try differently.
Dissociate yourself, your mind and energy.
Yes.
Tell me, how do you guard your energy? Everything
How do I
that you are.
guard my energy?
Do you believe in it?
Man.
Okay.
Prayer.
Mm.
I think nothing beats prayer, man. Like, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for prayer. Actually, just think of it now. Actually, yeah.
So you pray a lot?
I pray, not enough. I wish I would do it enough.
And where did you learn how to pray?
With my mom. Again, like, I think
you don't have grandparents.
I do, but I obviously didn't spend time with them. I spent more time with my mom. I think, or most of the times when I remember, because when we were young, there's like a lot of things that are happening, but enlightening moments, my mom was just beside me. You know, so she took me to church. You know, she introduced me to just being with God, you know, and I'm glad it was actually her, you know. So yeah, I think that's where I learned prayer.
What does purpose mean to you? And are you living according to your purpose?
Am I living according to my purpose?
Yeah.
So purpose in clause on it. Yeah, I think.
I wouldn't know that word.
Okay, that's a Zulu name.
Yeah.
Because to have purpose, to have in clause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day I try to do right by people, just in general, by my loved ones as well, and the ones that depend on me, the ones that I depend on as well. You know. Yeah, it's a tit for tat, we're doing our dues. We're playing our roles in this life thing that we're living. And I think if my role is to take care of you, then that's my purpose.
Oh man, I love that. Essentially you're saying you are here to serve.
Yes.
You are here to serve.
That's the whole idea of like surrendering also.
Right.
You know? So
right.
That's where we are.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
So that's your life's purpose. Do you feel like, what do you feel like acting is to you? Is it part of your purpose, or is, obviously you already told me what your purpose is. Your purpose is you're here to serve. What is acting then? Is it part of your purpose? How do you use it to serve?
It's everything.
Rather?
I'm everything. Sorry, there's a song by Dochi. She says it's everything.
Yeah.
And I'm everything.
Shucks.
So that's what acting is to me. You know, it's like a mirror. Whatever you see, that's what you're getting. You know, however it makes you feel, that's you as an individual. So that's what acting is to me. For me, acting is therapy. Acting is your everything, Joe. Like, that's a space. That's a sacred space. Like, if I'm on stage, I'm doing a prayer as well. I'm doing everything. I'm living a purpose. I'm playing a role.
I love that so much. So you are this age now.
Yes.
What happened recently in your life? It doesn't have to be this recent. It could be high school. That sort of disturbed your reality again. Because we went back and we talked about that oak. That
yes, that was very
things.
negative.
Exactly, it was very negative.
Yeah.
So you're older now, right?
Yeah.
What's happening in your life? Is there more people saying negative things, or are there events in your life that sort of change your lens and your way of thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I'm understanding now that the more opinionated I am, the worse it becomes. Also, the better it becomes as well, you know, because there's people that are for these opinions that I put out, and there's people that are against the opinions. So I'm learning also to be very diplomatic with my way of doing, you know, even though it's not ideal, you know, it's good for men to have something to stand for and something to fight for, you know. But I think we live in a world now where sometimes you have to just tone it down a bit, you know.
Yeah.
And just to have timing, which when do I say this, when do I not say this, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I'm learning that, and that's what happened recently with me having a voice for myself as well, you know. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is something to be aware of, you know, as you get older. Yeah.
Profound, because you have to say what you're here for, because I believe that we are here for a reason,
Yeah.
and our truth matters, but you need to be aware.
But you need to be aware
of
where
the
you are.
space.
Yeah. You need to be aware where you are, because you can't talk about I don't know, man. Maybe when they time me, man, izinto somewhere, and this is not the right space for you to just talk about those things, you know. And you need to know. You need to know.
You need to know.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's incredible, because you are accountable for your actions. It makes it easier for you to be accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the one thing that you do, that you complain about, that you want to change, but you never change it? Please be honest. I want you to be very honest with this one. What is that one thing?
I think procrastination.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I procrastinate a lot. And I try by all means to bro, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then we'll complain after. You see, if I can prioritize doing and then complaining after, then that's fine.
Yeah.
You know? So I think, I keep on coming back to procrastination every now and then. Yeah.
Do you find that when you complain, you get more, you procrastinate more?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's crazy, isn't it?
On point. It's such a, but it's good to also be aware, because when you start doing it, then you snap yourself out of it quickly. You know. Yeah. So I think as soon as you are aware, which I'm complaining now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just get back to work. That's it. Yeah.
What's your favorite quote?
Quote.
Yeah.
I said this to Bantwizis. I don't know if you know Bantwizis. There's the kids, Sima, Zilewizi, and Yanda Woods. They were like, so what's your everyday quote that you go by? And I said, live life like a snail. So when you move, you leave a mark. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, because you know why? It moves slowly in pace. And for you to move like that, right? Even though you might procrastinate, it means that you are enjoying the process. You are getting ready. You're not just, do you understand? You're not just walking slow for the sake of walking slow. Because we can do so many things in a rush and accomplish nothing.
But for me, I'm sorry to cut you, it's just the humor in the literal sense of the statement. Yeah. If you live life like a snail, you leave a mark. A snail always leaves a mark. Yeah. But you never see it. Yeah. But you know, okay, there was a snail here. Yeah. So for me, that's where I think I'm just falling in love with the humor in the literal sense of it. Yeah. But also the metaphorical sense also is very deep, and you can dig deep, and it consists of so many themes within that. Also, it also consists of patience that we talked about. You know, understanding that being content also, you know, plays a role in you moving slowly. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things to explore in that statement, and I think it's that has been my motive from, I think, the first time I heard it or I saw it. I don't know whether I read this or I saw it or I heard it from somewhere, but yeah.
How do you make sure that your characters that you play don't affect your mental health? And do you have such an instance where, I don't want to ask you how do you de-roll or get out of character, I want to be very specific with it, right? Do you have a moment or an instance or a character that sort of stayed with you for a while after playing it?
No, I've never had that, mainly because, and I know it might sound cliche, but the idea of knowing when to cut and the action, that's a very important practice, you know, because they call action and then you do the work, you play the role, and when they call cut, you cut the role. Even in like you yourself, it's like, okay, we're back. Okay, then what can we improve in this and that? So even when I go home, when they call rap, it's a rap.
It's a rap for the character.
It's a rap for the character.
So there's never a day in your life, because you played Teddy for quite a long time in Gomorrah, right? There's never a day in your life, maybe if he was going through whatever he's going through, maybe feelings of grief or sadness or whatever, and the day it affected you on a particular day.
I mean, there are those moments where it's like you're having like so many emotional scenes, and when you get home, you just feel tired, and that's because you've been using your body as a tool to transcend whatever message that was supposed to be, you know.
Because you actually have
so you're using yourself, so you will obviously feel, you know, tired. You feel, but that doesn't mean the character went home with you. It's just like because you had to, you know, you had to be part of that. You had to also play a role in making that possible, you know. So I do feel tired, but that's just like a day thing. It's not a mental. Okay, but there was an incident where the recent role that I played on Scheme Sam was because I've never found myself in a position where I'm a perpetrator in that situation, you know, because they were talking about like issues of consent and consent rape and all that, right? And because I've never found myself in that situation, being in that while shooting, it really made me feel some type of way, because then there's certain actors that they'll just call it out, like they don't prepare you, you know what I mean? I remember there was this one individual that said, "Yeah, I'm a rapist," and then they was not even the thing of I'm not a rapist, but it's just like be aware of the sensitiveness that comes with that, and because I have to prepare, I have to be on set and give it my all, and when you confuse Stella with Toby, you're making a huge mistake. So be aware of those things, you know. But then I also had to understand it myself and not take offense over that, you know. And I had to learn. And I was like, oh, okay, no, it's not about me also. You know? I had to just put myself down. Yeah.
What's the favorite thing about you that you like?
Me.
What's the best part of being you?
Yo, I don't know, man. I've never crossed my mind to like think of my favorite thing about me. Oh, I think I consider myself as a jack of all trades. Yeah. And when someone says,
"It must have none,"
it must have none, and then I say, no, but it continues because it says a jack of all trades is a master of none, but still better than a master of one. And then you're just like, and then you come back. You see, we come back with these.
Now you're preaching,
you know. But yeah, I think I see myself as a jack of all trades. Well, at least I try. You know. Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing. Yeah.
And when you think, what are you really talking about? You talking about the acting, the music?
No, I'm just talking about just finding myself in spaces, and I think this is gonna go back to what we were talking about, and playing a role in whatever space that I find myself in. You know, if I'm here to do a podcast, come on, let me do the best podcast I'm gonna make. You know, if we're gonna do a game show, let me be the best player you guys are gonna have. Or if we're doing a singing competition or whatever, let me be the best singer. Like, I just wanna play my role perfectly or good or to the extent.
Really?
That's what I'm trying to do in life.
Let's play a game then. The name of the game is called Story Improv.
Story Improv.
Yeah, so what you do is...
this is... Come on.
You said you want to play and
I'm saying this is... Storytelling is my... Come on, man.
Let's get into it.
Okay, come on. Try me.
Okay, cool. You start a story, then I throw random words at you, and you have to continue.
Random words?
Yeah.
Okay. So what must I do with these words? Must I...
Incorporate them into your story.
Incorporate the words into the story. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if the story changes
Nope.
its narration and all
It's
that.
narration.
It's just because I just need to include the word.
Yeah, include the word.
Bring it on.
Yeah. But you can't say my mother and father. I mean,
Don't worry.
I bring a word and then you say
Don't worry.
grandpa. Okay, cool.
I got you.
Alright. It's that.
Okay. So this one time, something really, funny happened.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny, but someone might find it sad. There was this guy
Yeah.
that came to a gaslam in my hood, and he was just trying to, get every artist or kid that was able to,
Carrot.
the kid was able to like pick up talents, you know what I mean? And he saw that there was a kid that was selling carrots, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the kid didn't have time to like go to rehearsals or
Cow dung.
cow
Dung.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the kid didn't have time to go to rehearsals, and he was like bekalusa inkomo, and lezo inkomo, obviously you would take the cow dung and go back home and wenze istupu ngaso and all that. So his time was dedicated to just serving Indlin and selling carrots and taking the cow dung and all that, right? But the guy came in with a car, and he was just like, kid, I see you're very talented and you're smart and you can do a lot of things, how about I take you in my car and let me show you what you can do with your talents.
Swimming pool.
And I'll get you a house. It's gonna have a nice swimming pool, and I think the kid was taken by that, because the kid loves swimming pool. And he was just like, let me leave home. Let me leave these carrots. Let me leave these
Cooking
cow
oil
dung and all that. Let me go home with this promised swimming pool. I'm gonna eat food, nice food that was cooked by nice cooking oil. So I think the kid was taken by that man, and that man till this day, I think he still takes care of that kid.
Shoes?
Yeah, and I think the kid loved shoes. Because the shoes he wears now, they're stepping into a brighter future.
Goat.
He's the greatest of all time.
That was a great one!
Low-key, I felt like in the beginning it was a bit bumpy there. And I was just like, okay, let me try and make sense out of this story.
But it was good, man. It was good because it recovered quite nicely.
Because for me, I think my focus is it needs to make sense.
Yeah.
Where is it going? Whatever you're going to bring in, that's fine. We're going to paint that picture, but it needs to make sense.
And it did make sense.
Did it make sense?
Yes! It was a beautiful story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Sure.
I enjoyed this conversation.
Thank
I don't
you
know about you, but I did.
I did also.
And I would love to have you again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Alright? You promise?
Yeah, for sure. I think also Nat will be in different mental states and will obviously accumulate information to talk about and all that, because these conversations are very important.
They are.
We need more people to hold spaces for such conversations. And
that's right.
Yeah, I think we appreciate you in that space, and a lot of creatives do want to have spaces where they can vocalize and feel safe, with whatever opinions they have, and not use those opinions to evoke controversy or anything like that, but just to feel like I had a conversation with someone. It just so happened to be documented, but it pushes positivity, but everyone wants to have a conversation.
Yeah, to voice out what's in your mind.
Yeah,
man.
it's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.